like above the garage over there, and like all the flat surfaces of the houses, like it would just flicker and shimmer with my eyes. And I'm like, and that's why I pointed the camera at it. I wanted to prove to my dad, look, I'm not suffering from psychoses. And even if you can't make anything out, because a lot of times I can't make anything out in it because it's moving so fast, and they don't always, light it up very brightly or do the animations, and it's just like this projected noise. And but I still wanted to point the camera at it because I'm like, look at this. Like my camera wouldn't produce something like this normally, and I see this all the time around me, especially at night. It's worse at night, and it's been going on for 3 years now, and it also obscures the light. So when I walk outside the trailer now, it's now February of 2020, and I walk outside the trailer in the dark, and there's some lights on from the house next door to me, where my sister and her husband lives, and there's the stop sign, by the way, and that would flicker all the time. And my channel icon is actually that stop sign with a face on it. But see there, like I think it's very clear that you can make out like a face, and like in the most of that picture there that's moving off screen. I'm going to do some interpretations here. Now you can see eyes here with irises, and even with glimmers in their eye, even with a reflective sheen. And now they're blasting a picture of Charlie Sheen into my eyes, and they're saying winning. So these projections that can project into your eyes. It sounds crazy, but I mean, they have something that kind of looks like a pair of headphones that sit on your head, and then you swipe them down in front of your eyes, and they can beam into your retinas or videos into your eyes. That's been around for years. It's been around for, I think, 7 years. It's been around for I think it's been around for about 7 years. See, that looks like a face right there that's moving off screen to the right. It's right there on the right. But it would just look crazy. And Tim started to notice this too, a little bit, but obviously he didn't see it as much as me, because when he was around, they dyed this stuff down to a very to almost like indecipherable. I mean, almost where you couldn't see it. They're tripping me up on my words now using voice to skull technology, which is a real thing and has been around for over 50 years. But like sometimes Tim would look up in the sky at the stars, and he would see like the minimal amount of twack that I saw, where it would look like the stars like were like blurry, or were shaking or moving or wiggling. And I was like, that's them. They do that twack in the sky, and because it's three-dimensional, it creates like a fisheye effect or just a wavy effect. They're mentioning Gaussian blur from Adobe Photoshop. And here's another interpretation. But see, like even in those eyes, you can make out irises, and you can make out a glimmer in the eye. And so like they would do the twack in the sky, so he would look up at the stars, and he would like that star looks like it's wiggling. Or he started to even notice it before I left the house. He was like looking in the corner of the room, and he's like, it looks like there's like some like movement or something. He thought it was sleep deprived. I'm like, Tim, you slept yesterday. Like you haven't been awake for 24 hours. Like here's another one I think is pretty clear, and even the ears above, the face above the ears that I drew, even those look like eyes because they stack eyes on eyes on eyes. They're making a Broad City reference and then some other reference. They're playing 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Dun, 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 dun.